Okay, let's go over some disclaimers. Now we're gonna talk about different strategies to grow your brain. I just want to let you know that I'm not a physician or a neuroscientist or a surgeon, although I play one on TV. Believe it or not, it's on YouTube. You can see me. I was hired to be the spokesperson for American Heart Association. How cool is that? So, but again, before you make any drastic changes in your life, please talk to your physician, your loved ones, whoever. So this is just knowledge sharing. We're not forcing you to do anything drastic to your health, to your life. So, with that being said, let's get started. So, let me see here. Okay, that's the disclaimer. Again, you should seek physician's help and all that. Okay, so the good news is that, we were always told that you only have so many brain cells, and if you drink, you're going to lose brain cells. If you smoke, you're going to lose brain cells. Well, that's true. If you drink and smoke, you are going to lose brain cells. But the best news is, at any age, you can grow your brain cells back. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So you could be 90 years old and still growing brain cells. So today we're going to talk about how to do that. So we're going to talk about 5 pillars of brain health. These are 5 things you can do that will help you grow your brain cells. And those are, first one is discover, which is to learn. Learning could be as simple as taking a different route home. You came on Wilson Boulevard, take the Clarendon home. You see different things, you see different. And then second is connect. Connect is social interaction. When you interact with people, you grow your brain cells. Who knew that going to a party was actually good for your brain? It's the stuff you eat at the party that's bad for your brain. Going to the party is okay. Moving doesn't mean leaving town. Moving is exercising. Exercising, working out, because it helps the circulation and you grow your brain. And number 4 is nourishment or nutrition. The stuff you eat, the stuff you put in your mouth, is going to help you or hurt you. So we're going to talk about that. And finally, the relaxation or good sleep is the 5th pillar. So these are the 5 pillars of brain health. So let's get started with why is brain health so important? Why is it so important to be brain healthy? We're living longer. Before, at the age of, even now, like if I go to India, I'm from India, and when I go to India, people who are 50, they go, oh man, I'm 50, and I don't have that much more to go. And they've lost all desire because to them, 50 is over the hill. And to me, I have more energy now than I did before. It's like I have to take sleeping pill to calm myself down. So we're living longer, and most people are working till they're 80, 90 these days. I go to DMV, and there was a lady who was like 80 years old, and she was the fastest one there. The young people were like slow, and she was like, moving that line. And also healthcare costs. When your brain is not functioning properly, guess what? You become dependent on other people. And you get dependent on other people, that's it. You're going to cost a lot more for your. And finally, the brain research is coming up with all these different things that tell you that you can improve your brain. Now, why is brain function so important? Why is brain function so important? Why do you want to have a good brain?
It helps the rest of your body work.
Exactly. Every decision that you make is made in this pentagon right here. This is your pentagon right here. Okay? Every decision that you make, everything that you do, even subconscious decisions, is done all here. So if your brain's not functioning properly, your headquarters is not, you're not getting good signals. Okay, so you'll find at your seat, you'll find some pens, and I'm going to give you a participant survey later on, and you can have that, and then some handout and some notes. So if you need a paper, you all have paper to write on?
Yes.
Okay, and if you don't, I can give you some, but if you have it, that's wonderful. I don't have blank paper. Okay, so let's get started. So how do you learn new things? Now, here's what I like to do. A lot of people will say, you gotta learn, you gotta pay attention and learn, you gotta be serious. No, I like to make things fun. Because when things are fun, you'll do it more often. So I like to make learning fun. Now, how many people love to learn things? How many people are learning new things? Yeah? What are you learning, sir? What do you think?
Well, I enjoy reading and then
Beautiful.
going on hikes.
Reading is so good for you. You know why? Because when you read, you have to translate these words into pictures in your brain. And your brain has to draw those pictures. And that's such a wonderful exercise. Okay? When you watch a video, your brain doesn't have to translate that because pictures to pictures, boom. But when you read, you have to draw these pictures in your head. You have to learn to focus. So reading is wonderful. Reading is wonderful. What do you do, Matt?
I'm trying to learn Spanish.
Wonderful, wonderful. Spanish is wonderful. Not only will you get a discount on gardening, but any languages that you learn, see, that's going to help you in multiple ways. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Hey, how are you? Are you an observer or are you a participant? I'm going to make you a participant too. So, welcome. He's also AARP presenter, so he's, yes. So, anytime you learn a new language, you're opening up so many horizons. I remember I used to work for the post office. I got a job at the post office, and the first day I came in, they give me this book this thick of addresses and streets and addresses and mailmen that were carried to the streets and addresses, and for the whole city. And the book was this thick, all numbers, and it was like a phone book. And they said, "We want you to memorize this in 10 days." I'm like, "You're kidding, right?" I said, "No, I'm not kidding. I'm serious." And so they hired 50 people. In 10 days, 40 of them quit. Okay, that's how tough it was. And the reason I was able to remember those names and addresses because I knew multiple languages. So if some street name looked like some other language, I would make a story with that. So I linked it in different ways, and I was able to memorize it. So learning another language is such a wonderful thing. I applaud you. I commend you. Who else are you? What are you doing?
I'm babysitting my granddaughter.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I'm trying to increase her brain.
No, but see, the best part is you can be a kid with her and see from her camera angle, and that'll open up your horizons, and that'll keep you young. People always say you should eat good to stay young. I say you should act young to stay young. And if you're hanging out with a young person like that, you're gonna act young anyways.
Well, she sleeps a lot.
There you go.
Except you.
Okay. So some of the things you can do is you can challenge your brain in new ways. For instance, I'll give you a good one these days. The more technology we have, the less we're challenging ourselves. Have you noticed that? Like even like the other day, my wife, she was late coming home. I'm like, "Why are you late?" She says, "Oh, because my GPS wasn't working." I'm like, "You're coming home." She says, "Yes, but I'm coming home from a different place." So the point I'm making is we use GPS so much that we don't exercise our brain.
But actually technology does challenge you because right now I'm having trouble with my laptop and I have to try to figure out,
Right.
go and read and figure out why it's doing this, why it's so slow, blah, blah, blah. So
No, that's good.
you can.
So here's what I was
if it
going to
doesn't
say to
work,
you. When you use your GPS, make it a point to use GPS only one way. Make sure that the GPS is taking you there, but before you use the GPS, look at the map and see whereabouts you got to go, so you can, because GPS can be wrong too sometimes.
Yes, it is.
Okay?
I don't want to go that way.
Exactly. And so make sure you use the GPS only one way, then turn it off and then come back on your own. And then if you get lost, you can always turn it on. But the point I'm making is that'll challenge your brain. And so exercise your brain and pursue new interests. Now, here's what I do. A lot of times I'll meet someone, I'll ask them, "What's your favorite hobby? You look so happy. What's your favorite hobby?" And they'll tell me, something interesting like crochet or I don't know, pinball or whatever. And then I'll try that. And 9 out of 10 times I'll love it too. So that's a good way to develop some new hobbies. And stay curious. A lot of people they've just given up, I have a brother-in-law who has a PhD. Okay, he's a very smart guy. But I've noticed people who have PhDs are so burnt out from studying, they don't want to learn anything anymore. They're like, "Oh man, forget it. I know everything." And you know what? You never want to get there. You always want to be curious and challenge your thinking. So those are some of the ways you can learn new things. Now, another way to learn new things is to take or teach a class. They say you learn more by teaching. And that's so true. That's so true because you can take a class and be iffy on the subject, but if you have to teach a class, you're going to be right on it. You're going to have so much knowledge. And then by sharing it with other people, you get so many new ideas and you keep growing. You keep growing with that. And like you said, learn a new language. How many people like to dance? Dance. I love dancing. Dancing is so much fun. I'll watch some couple dancing and trying out these new moves. And next thing you know, I go up there and I try and I look like an idiot, but I try. Try complex arts and crafts, play challenging board games and card games. Those are fun, like bridge and all that. So those are all the things you can do to learn new things. Okay, so how are we learning new things? So like you said, you're taking Spanish classes. Who else? What are you taking? Are you doing anything?
Oh no, I'm tired. I'm burnt out.
Oh.
I'm doctorate.
You must have a PhD.
I'm worn out.
And it happens. I don't blame them. It happens. You know, it happens. You can get burnt out. So yeah. So keep learning new things because that's one way to stay sharp. And it doesn't have to be anything hard. Just take a different way home. Don't use a GPS. You know, just little things like that will make you smart. Okay. So the second pillar is staying socially engaged or connected with people. Now, you know, there's so many ways to avoid isolation. A lot of people become introverts as they get older, and they have, you know, they don't want to go to many places because they got to carry their pills, they got to carry this.
Oxygen tank.
Yeah, exactly. So you wanna try and stay socially engaged with your friends, family, and community. And also, if you don't have relatives living nearby, a pet is a wonderful thing. How many people have pets? What do you have, man?
Cockapoo.
Oh, I love those. How about you, sir?
I have a cockapoo with her.
Oh, okay. You guys are a
Yeah.
couple?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're married, actually.
Pardon?
We're married.
Oh, you're married. Even better. No wonder you're sitting apart.
But they're
I tell you, the other day it was so cold outside. Even the married people were hugging. I was like, wow. So yeah, staying engaged, doing things with your friends and family, avoiding isolation. A pet, like I said, a pet is a wonderful thing, and also volunteer. You know, like if you volunteer, it's a great way. I volunteer. I love it. I love volunteering because it's less pressure. You know, I'm more responsible when I volunteer than I used to be when I was working for money. Isn't that bizarre? They were paying me and I was careless, and now that I volunteer, I show up early. You know, and so volunteering is a great way to do things, and AARP is always looking for volunteers, and they have all kinds of openings. This young man right here, give me your name again.
Bobbin.
Bobbin. Yeah, Bobbin is a volunteer.
Yeah.
You know, hard to believe he's a senior.
Yeah.
He's been to my 5 pillars of brain health so many times. Look at how young he looks. So, what are some of the ways we can participate and be socially interactive? What are some of the ways you guys socially interact?
We have a lot of family here.
You have a lot of family here. That's good. That's good. What else?
I don't have much family here, but I volunteer with my church a lot.
Good. That's always a good place, you know, because you get so much support. You know, I've noticed like church, Toastmasters, AARP, they're such wonderful people. You know, like you go out in this world, it's so cold. Everybody's so like they don't want to do anything with you. They're like so cold. But you go to like these organizations, like Toastmasters, church meetings, and AARP, they're so warm. They hug you, they share their food with you. You know, you feel connected. And it's a very nice and warm and fuzzy feeling. So again, join a club or participate in sports. These days with internet, you got meetup groups. How many people know what meetup groups are? Meetup groups? Yeah, meetup groups are, it's like you join meetup, it's like a AARP, not AARP, it's an app on the phone. And then you tell them your interest. Like for instance, let's say you like to go to happy hours. Well, you go to that meetup, and they'll tell you the nearest happy hours where you can get together with different people, share ideas, make friends, and you'd be surprised how many like-minded people you meet. There's meetup groups for meditation, there's meetup groups for nutrition, there's even meetup groups for bad things. But we won't go there. So again, attend community events, they always have fairs, they always have different things that you can go to, and again, adopt a pet and volunteer for a non-profit. So those are some of the ways you can stay connected with other people. So again, how do you stay socially engaged? In my case, I do AARP, I teach workshops. I was telling her, I do a game show called Happiness 101. I do that, so that keeps me socially engaged. Family, friends, you know, there's always something going on, always. So yeah, so that's a wonderful way to stay busy. Okay, so far we discussed 2 pillars of brain health. What were they? Let's see if you're paying attention. What were the first 2 pillars?
Learn something new
Yes.
and stay socially
And
engaged.
stay socially engaged. Learn something new and stay socially engaged. I do this after every pillar, so you might want to. I did a workshop for the blind, and they weren't taking notes. So I did that, and they were so right on. They were boom, boom, boom. You know how you guys were pull the blank? They did.
Yeah.
They were right on because they couldn't take notes, so I had to go through it. So I thought that's a good idea to start doing that. Okay, so the third pillar is exercise. Now, exercise helps you in so many ways. You know, it helps your circulation. You get endorphins, you know, and then the happy hormones. And so there's so many ways that exercise helps you. Now, they say that you should do 150 minutes of exercise each week. Okay, that comes out to about 22 minutes, 22 minutes a day if you do it every day. Now, if you're like me and you skip the weekends, then it's 30 minutes a day.
You're not supposed to do that.
Right. Well, you can skip a day or so here and there because it's good for your joints to get a break.
Right, it's like three times. So.
Yeah, it's
I
good,
usually
it's
do
good
like
for your joints to get a break. You can actually wear your joints out, really.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people jogging on hard surface. Oh, that's not good at all. I mean, they can do it while they're young. Whew. You do that a little bit, you know, when you're older, you're gonna burn your joints out. So yes, be very careful. So physical activities, it repairs and protects your brain chemicals, increases circulation, reduces anxiety, and improves sleep. Because when you're tired, you can sleep better. Now, what's the best time to exercise? Can I ask you that? Anybody?
Early in the morning?
Early in the morning is very good. Very good. You got fresh air. You got less pollution. You know, if you're going out on the road, there's less cars, and so you know. When else? When should you not exercise?
In the afternoon.
Well, yeah, in the afternoon, actually, the smog and all that. There's a lot of smog, and also there's a lot of heat.
Sun is bright. Yeah.
Sun is bright.
before you're ready to go to
although
bed.
Yes, you don't want to exercise when you're right about to go to bed.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to exercise because you will have the hardest time falling asleep. Your blood pressure is going to go up. Your, it's going to wake up your body. And so I didn't know this. When I was younger, I used to play tennis, and we could not get a court until 10 o'clock at night.
Ouch.
So I would play tennis from 10 to 11, and then at 11:30 I'd come home after a shower and I'd try to go to sleep. And I thought there was something wrong with me. I would take pills. I went to the sleep study, and nobody bothered to ask me.
Oh.
So then I read a book, and it said, no, exercise early. Very
Uh,
important. Exercise early. Yes. So exercise reduces anxiety and improves sleep, and that's so true. You know, anytime you go for a jog, especially when you have something on your mind, you go for a jog, you come back, you're relaxed because all that extra energy is gone away, and it reduces the risk of diabetes, heart disease, depression, and stroke. So let me ask you this: I like to make my exercise fun because you will not exercise if it's not fun. Okay, I don't care what you say. A lot of people will do strength training. Oof, oof, after 2 days they're bored. So how do you make exercise fun? How do you make an exercise fun?
take a partner.
Take a partner.
You know,
Now, take a partner is a double-edged sword because if your partner is lazy, guess what?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay,
Right.
and if your partner is ambitious and you're not, so it's best if you're husband wife or if you have a partner who's right there, who's gonna go with you, who's motivated. Great. If not, then find a way to make exercise fun by wearing headphones, by listening to music, doing so many different things. Like for instance, I listen to this motivational speaker, and his sessions are like 25 minutes. Perfect. I put it on, my 25 minutes go by so fast, and then I'll play table tennis. Do you guys play table tennis? Anybody play table tennis? You gotta learn. It's so much fun, and it's so good for your brain. Table tennis will give you the hand-eye coordination. It'll give you the social interaction. It'll give you the exercise, and you'll learn new tricks. It covers pretty much all the 5 pillars of brain health. It's awesome. So, what are some of the ways you guys exercise?
Go to the gym,
You go to the
treadmill, and I listen to a book. That keeps me going.
Right, because you need to keep your brain occupied while you're exercising. If you get bored, you're gonna stop. So you gotta keep your brain occupied. How about you, sir? What kind of exercise do you do?
Well, I like to hike and walk.
Are you able to
Sometimes-
hike and walk?
Yes, I haven't been doing as much in the winter, but I've been,
Right.
after work, I would maybe walk about
Right.
10 to 15 minutes to a bus stop further away. And
Beautiful.
At least that's,
Beautiful.
better than doing nothing, because I sit on
Oh,
my desk all day.
Yes, and make it your lifestyle. So, for instance, if you have to walk to a bus stand, perfect, because it's automatic. Make it built in, because if it's built in, you'll do it. Another way is if you drive, park your car farthest out. That way you don't get your car scratched, and you get built in exercise. Yeah, exactly. And so also find a mall, find a good mall. Leave your wallet in the car, so you don't go shopping, and walk up and down. Do window shopping. Okay. So you can do walking, dancing, running. Dancing is a great exercise. How many people like to dance? How many people are dancers? Yeah? Oh, dancing is so good. In fact, they have these dance studios that have come up everywhere now. And they have dancing workshops, and they have group lessons that are cheap. I pay $99 a month, and I can go to any class. And they have classes 6 days a week. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Comes up to like $6 a class. You know how much Arthur Murray charged? Go ahead.
Yeah.
We be teaching country line dancing here on the 24th
See,
from
that's
7 to 9,
beautiful.
and it's free.
That's
And it's
beautiful.
free.
That's beautiful. I'm gonna come. That's beautiful. Yeah, dancing is so good. Running is very good, but be careful. You can hurt your joints. Okay, just be careful because a lot of times people get all anxious and they want to run, and next thing you know, they got joint pain. I had knee surgery, so I'm very careful about that. Swimming is so good for you. Swimming is very good for you because it's very good for your joints. And biking is very good for you also. But be careful, safety again. Strength training can be boring, but once you're like Arnold Schwarzenegger and that you know you're an autopilot where your brain says do it, and you do it. And Tai Chi and yoga is very good. A little bit of meditation, a little bit of balance. So get active. That's one of the ways to stay healthy. So far we've done 3. So what were the 3 that we did so far?
Learn something
Learn
new.
something new,
Stay.
connect with people
Yeah.
socially, and now
Exercise.
exercise. Okay, so now that we come to my favorite part, which is nutrition. I love to eat. So let me ask you this. Is anybody on any kind of a diet? Any kind of a diet? And is it working for you? You know? Well, good. It's good to eat everything, but eat in moderation. That's the key. You know, I'm not saying don't eat sweets, don't eat meat. Eat in moderation, you know. So, but they're saying eat more fish and seafood. Now, why is fish and seafood so good for you?
Proteins.
It has good proteins. It has lean protein, so it's easy to digest. Unlike beef and ribs and pork, fish is much easier to digest. It will go through your system faster. Also, fish has omega-3. Omega-3 is really good for your joints, really good for your heart, really good for your eyes. Hundreds of benefits of omega-3. In fact, I try to eat fish once a week, but I take omega-3 fish oil capsules, 2 capsules a day, every day. I went to Costco, bought the best ones, and I take 2 a day, and I love it. My joints don't hurt. I feel great. You know, it's like magic. It's amazing. And then they say eat nuts. Now here's how many people eat nuts every day? Nuts, yeah? Good. Anybody else nuts? Now here's what I've done. I buy a can of nuts from Costco, $10, big old can, and I leave it in my car. Now have you noticed that if you're driving and you're hungry,
Yeah.
there's a term for that. It's called hangry.
Mm-hmm.
You get upset because you're hungry and you're stuck in traffic, right? Reach over there in the back, get some nuts, and eat one at a time. Because if you start eating a handful, oh man, you wipe out that box in a hurry. So you eat one nut at a time. That's like a little governor that keeps you from eating too many nuts, because it can hurt you. Anything you do in excess is going to hurt you.
Yeah.
So your goal is to be in moderation, get some nuts. That way you don't ruin your dinner and you're not angry. So yeah. So beans, how many people like beans? Yeah?
Yeah.
Beans are very good. A lot of fiber in them. You know, you want to eat foods that have a lot of fiber in them. Grains, a lot of people like grains. Now be careful. Some people are gluten. They have the celiac disease or celiac disease, so they can't eat gluten. And if you eat gluten, like in my case, I can't have pizza. If I have pizza, I know I love pizza.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh, I know, but I'll eat it. But I know that I ate it. Then I eat fiber pills afterwards because it'll clog up my system. So I'm very careful about grains. Leafy green vegetables.
Couldn't you just make that one of the toppings? Your little fiber pills?
Right, that's a good one. Yeah, those little gummy bears. Put that in the oven. So leafy green vegetables are really good. How many people have a smoothie in the morning? Do you guys make a smoothie? Anybody make a smoothie? Yeah. How do you like it?
I usually use low-fat yogurt and frozen fruit.
Right.
Milk.
Right. You know, I have yet to see a person who drinks a smoothie every day and who doesn't have good skin. Look at his skin. Look at his skin is awesome. There's no blemishes. His liver is clean. You know, that's how you can tell. If you have blemishes on your face and all that, it's because your liver is not doing its job. Because your liver is supposed to clean out your skin, filter it all out. And I see people who drink smoothies and stuff, great skin. You know. So yeah, I eat a smoothie every day. I drink a smoothie every morning. That's my meal. My breakfast is my smoothie, and I love it. And over the years, I've refined it even more by putting leafy greens, some nuts, and then I put beets, a red beet. You know, that's a lot of fun. And for guys, you need the testosterone. Because yeah, I'm 50, now I'm going to be 59 this month. So at my age, the testosterone starts dropping a lot. And when the testosterone drops, your bones get brittle, you start becoming like this. So you want to be like this. You know? So that smoothie really helps me, you know. Okay, so what are some of the brain healthy foods? There's kale, spinach, broccoli, berries. I love berries. How many people like berries?
Yes.
Berries are good. You know the best part is you can buy these berries and freeze them, and they last you 6 months. You know, and then you can put it in your smoothie. That's what I do. I'll buy all these like broccoli, berries, and all these, and I freeze them. And then I take a couple pieces, put them in my smoothie, put almond milk, and blend it, and put protein powder. It tastes great. It's a nice meal, you know. So whole berries, vinegar, lemon, herbs, and spices. How many people like spices, spicy food? Anybody like spicy food? Yeah, it agrees with you. I love spicy food. Spicy food is the best.
Curry, especially. That's what I love about Indian food.
Oh yes.
Curries and
Yeah,
things like that.
Indian food.
And the best part about the curry is it has turmeric. Turmeric is the best antibiotic. It's the best anti-inflammatory. Okay, so like if you're having a headache and if you don't feel like taking aspirin because it hurts your stomach, eat some turmeric or some ginger, and it's an anti-inflammatory. Your headache will be gone really fast, and it's a nice, easy cure because there's no side effects with the ginger, right? There's no side effect. Whereas with aspirin, it can cut your stomach. You know how like it can rip the lining of your stomach. It can make your blood vessels thin. There's so many different side effects.
How do you take a spice though and just, will you put it on something? You put it in
yes,
water?
Yes, see what I do is, no, that's true. That's a good question. You can go to Indian store and buy pickle. So the ginger is already cut up
Oh.
and it's already in vinegar and salt
Oh.
and it's already done. And you just, when you're having a meal, just put a couple of ginger spice. Like for instance, if you're having a hot dog or that sandwich, put a couple of pieces of ginger in it.
Oh.
It adds to the taste
Uh-huh.
and it gives that nice flavor and also it's anti-inflammatory. You know, so it's really good for you. Again, salmon and sardines, walnuts and omelets, walnuts and almonds, they're all good for you, really good for you. So basically what you want to do is you want to set up your plate in such a way that it has a nice balance of all those, you know. And how do you know if the food is agreeing with you? How do you know if certain food agrees with you or doesn't agree with you? How do you know?
If it digests well.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
If it's not in your system for 5 days, then it's agreeing with you. It should come out within a couple of days. You should see, you know, you should see, you know. And if you really want to know, eat some corn with it. That way it's a nice marker for you. Because you'll see the corn come out, you know. Oh, how else do you know the food is agreeing with you?
I know like beans are supposed to be good for you, but you can suffer some side effects.
Right.
Flavors, unfortunately.
Right,
You know.
right. Yeah, because not everything's going to agree with you.
Yeah.
But as we get older, we know what agrees with us, okay? Like some people are lactose intolerant. They you know, some people are, they can't have nuts. So make sure the food agrees with you because all this food may be good, but it's not good for everybody. So make sure it agrees with you. It doesn't give you constipation. It doesn't give you the runs. It doesn't give you gas. It doesn't keep you awake at night. You know, make sure it does all that before you adopt it. So what do you eat? What's your favorite healthy food?
Cereal, like oatmeal.
Oatmeal is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Oatmeal is very good, especially the non-sugary ones, the Quaker oats.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually really good for your heart. It'll cut your cholesterol down and all that. Yeah, oatmeal is very good, and it'll keep you regular.
Mm-hmm.
That is so crucial. That is so crucial. What else? Who else has a favorite food that's healthy?
Vegetables.
Oh, I love vegetables. Yeah.
Avocados.
Oh, avocados are excellent. Avocados are excellent. That's an excellent fat.
Ice cream.
Yes. you know, you can make ice cream healthy. And I'll tell you how. You can buy low sugar ice cream. There's low sugar ice creams and also portion control. Okay, instead of just eating ice cream, what you do is you cut up some vegetables, cut up some fruits, like apple, and then put a little bit of ice cream on top of that. And you can make ice cream healthy, just by portion control. Okay? If you eat a pint of ice cream, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
But if you eat 2 spoons of ice cream, it's not bad for you. See what I mean? But you gotta make it fun, and you gotta make it tasty, and you gotta make it, healthy. Who else has a favorite nutritional food? All right, let's move on. Okay, we're down to the final one. But before we go to the final one, what are some of the four? What are the 4 we discussed so far? We had learning new things, social interaction, exercise, and my favorite one,
Nutrition.
Nutrition is my favorite one. And my favorite one is sleep now. Sleep also is my favorite one. I'll tell you a little thing. I do a workshop at the senior center where I ask for the habits of happy people. And so I said, what are some of the habits of happy people? So this one guy goes, sleep! And then he started snoring again. so since then, I love sleeping. Oh my God, if I can get an extra hour of sleep,
Yes.
it's such a blessing. And I didn't realize it until you mentioned it, So how many people are getting regular sleep, 6 to 8 hours? How many people are getting 6 to 8 hours? You're getting 6 to 8 hours uninterrupted? How many people have to get up to go to the bathroom? How many times? How many times? You also?
Yeah. I mean, I have a son, so.
You have a
Oh.
son?
I have a baby boy.
Oh, yeah, so he has to go to the bathroom and you get up, or?
Yeah, he's an infant, so.
Oh, of course, of course. And he's drinking that formula.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, you look too young to be having a baby.
Yeah.
Don't you? Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were married.
You don't know? Okay.
No. Okay.
How old is this little?
6 months.
Oh.
Oh, wow. So he's sleeping. He's not sleeping through the night yet.
Yeah, he's pretty much sleeping.
He's pretty much sleeping through the night. That's wonderful. I'm proud of you. So yeah. So sleeping is very important. Now, what are some of the things we can do to not have to wake up at night? There are things you can do now. I sleep through the night.
Don't drink fluids after a certain hour.
Exactly. Bingo. Don't
I
drink.
said it, but I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah,
I
don't
drink till I go to bed.
I
know.
drink and drink.
Oh, I know. And the more you try to stop yourself, the more you will, because your mouth will be dry.
Yeah, right.
So what you do is make sure you go to the bathroom before you go to bed. And like she said, don't drink too much. If you have to drink, just take a sip. Like keep a bottle, but don't drink the whole bottle. Just sip it.
That came out.
Another thing you can do. What's the number one thing you can do to fall asleep faster in your room? What's the number one thing you can do in your room to fall asleep faster? Can anybody tell me?
Turn the light on.
Dim the
Turn off
light.
Turn off the lights. Beautiful. Basically, declutter all the electronics from your room. Because see, these electronics, they radiate certain radiation, certain blue lights that wake you up. And so if you watch a bright light, like a blue light before you go to sleep, you're gonna have a hard time. So there's a setting on our phone that makes it from blue to brownish, or
Yeah, a night mode thing.
night mode thing, yeah, and that works. I usually turn off my technology after 8 o'clock. I turn off all my cell phones, everything,
Yeah.
and it helps me sleep better.
Even the GPS has changed color
Right.
on the car.
Right, exactly.
After sun, so that it doesn't strain your eyes.
Exactly, yes,
Oh,
that's true,
okay.
that's true.
Mhm.
When it becomes dark, it changes color, that's true. So yeah, so that's the number one thing. Now, what else can you do to fall asleep fast? What else can you do